Timing's overrated.
Okay, so we will start reviewing the Flying Busters, Reinhardt, Winston, 2800. I guess his name's Seanthebomb. He is in a... Oh, it's a full 6-stack. Okay. Let's see if he's going against a full 6-stack. Oh, Jesus Christ. Turn that down.
Yeah, I don't know. It was super easy too. Like I just sent him PayPal and then he like shipped it from.
That doesn't sound like a Sean. Unless it's someone else. Oh, that's probably a Discord talking.
I'm the one that...
Hold on, I just want to see. And... Okay, so you got some diamonds in your group. And you're going up against 2 3-stacks. 2 diamonds and a plat. So I think...
Reaper is good on village, I think. I don't think it's good on the...
I think your SR may be at a slight disadvantage. Oh, I guess people do keep their the diamond rank before it. I need some sound, but man, everyone's talking. So Winston, yeah. Okay, that works. I was gonna say you could have been a little bit greedier with the bubble, but hey, that works. Are you the only tank on your team? Oof. And you're not getting healed too much. Okay, with target priority, I would try to stay away from Reinhardt's. So Winston does... The way Winston's damage works is he... If I remember correctly, he does 20 ticks a second, and each one does 3 damage. And maybe 30 ticks a sec with 2 damage. So what he does 60 DPS. So if you're shooting a Reinhardt, you actually have to... It's 9 seconds. You would have to hurt him for, right? 60 damage a second. It would be 9 seconds for you actually to kill him. It would probably be... It's a little bit under 9 seconds, but still, a lot. It's a lot of time. Now, if someone else is helping you, that's cool, but you're kind of just shooting the Reinhardt yourself. It's better to go on a squishy. And so, a big thing with Winston is landing on a squishy. You'll do 50 damage, and since you do 60 damage a second, it puts them under 180, right? It puts them at 150, which means they die under 2 seconds instead of 3 seconds. It's very... In fact, I would say... Landing on someone as Winston is incredibly important.
Well, the thing with you playing Winston right now is that you'll have to do many type targets to like go after besides jumping this.
Alright.
Oh, I just got the Rein.
There you go. No, there's a... Oh, you're weak.
Where is he?
Again... It's okay to be a little bit... I mean, Winston's meant to be aggressive. He's played... very aggressively. But you're just jumping on the wrong targets. And that was kind of a blind jump, so it's not completely your fault that there's a, Roadhog waiting for you with open arms.
Timing's overrated.
Let's see if we can get any... Oh, nope. Everyone's there. Okay, cool. So you immediately change. So yeah, your team needs more beef. They got a lot of kill potential. They got a lot of burst. But I mean, it's not that Winston can't work. It's just it is a little bit more difficult. Got him. Is that Lucio behind you? Yeah. Okay, that wasn't bad. Just be wary of your sound. And watch when... I know you want to jump forward and try to get to point as quick as possible. The main point is saving your partners.
bubble or on Chro.
There's a. They're behind. Oh shit. On this one side.
Good. Okay, yeah, you didn't stick on the Roadhog too long. That was really well played. Yeah, you know what he wants to do.
There's a Roadhog in the room downstairs. There's 2 of them, 3 of them. Oh no.
So with so many in the room, you may want to do a... Damn, that... I was gonna say try to charge into the room to see what you can get.
No, I'm dead.
They flanked you with Visor. So that was that's actually, I want to look at that again. That's a very tough spot to be in. I'm surprised you didn't get booped off. But essentially what happens is they're going to take the far route, and you're just, it doesn't matter, like you can't block that many directions at once.
No, I'm dead. Took too long.
Guy's team isn't healing them at all. It doesn't matter. You have to throw all that out of the window. Right, this is... So when I do reviews, it's all about this guy. If you blame anything on the team, this does not help this guy. Right? You have to take composition out of the window. You have to take teammates out of the window. This is about getting this person better. If you blame your teammates, you're just going to be worse. A little aggressive. A little aggressive, swatting at that fly. Your team double ults, and that gets the point.
Should be dead.
Wait, that's true. They're using Lucy on Zenyatta. That's weird.
What else do they have?
Push up a little bit. Push up.
My ultimate is charged.
So your team's having this thing where you keep going this way and they're all this way. You may want to switch sides if they're not switching sides. Okay, Zarya's behind you. Cool. I was saying, if no one's sitting behind you, then there's no point just sitting around as a Rein.
I hear far eye.
Now you could charge. I mean, you could. You don't. No, you couldn't have charged. This. So again, the problem is, if you pushed up this way with your 2 allies, which they would have followed you on, then you could have attacked this point, this area, a lot easier. If you go here and they're already overflanking, like they're going to get around you, this is the dying solution. And I guess we will see how this plays out. But you put yourself in the center and you're allowing them to rotate all around you and attack from all different ways. Which you can't. You need to force everyone to be in front of you.
Oh, we're dead.
Yeah. You need to be a bit more aggressive at that point. So this is always a very hard thing to figure out in Overwatch. It's when to be aggressive with Reinhardt and when not to be aggressive.
I hear far eye. I don't know where she is.
So yeah, that could have changed things. But right here, you know there's 1, 2, and you know there's at least 3 probably over here. As these people go this way, and there's already a red bubble, so you can assume there's 1 Winston over there. You need to go in here and stop the support. You need to split this into 2 groups. And you got to be this dividing point. This seems like the super safe move, but this is actually the most dangerous move. Because you remove yourself from all fights, you actually can't do anything. And sometimes it's better to, you know, even if it's highly aggressive, it's better to do that than just be so passive that you just lose.
I think it was a good idea. Oh, man. Why did they say that?
You can skip this, right? We have the power.
And, what's it called? The soldiers. everything'd be fine, but other than that, we just
Let's see.
hooks getting shot.
I don't know the rule on when you want to charge to get to a point faster or not.
Hook down.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Monkey's one to the left. Genji behind.
I think you still want to be pushing up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so you're getting the numbers advantage.
That Genji's
Alright, now get in front. Yep, there you go.
Kill his Lucio dancing.
Your job is not to care so much. Okay, alright. And that gets the job done, that's for sure. Actually, now that he has ult, that was probably a really good move. To remove two of the characters like that.
Roadhog.
Yeah, Reinhardt, you do have to depend on your teammates a lot. If someone's behind you shooting you, you kind of do have to hope they deal with them. Because your job is to protect the team from the main threat. And the main threat in this one right now is Hog. They need a hook shield. Holy shit, do they need a hook shield. If Hog has uncontested hooks, I know this is a lower level game. This is like 2800, whatever it was. Again, I think maybe you're hitting a little bit too much.
Alright, go Sigma.
I don't know where you are.
I'm on the left.
I just want to see the hits you tried to take. Because dropping your shield for a second can definitely lose you all your life. You're at 300, 400. Yeah, that essentially, there's a couple smaller shots, but that one Roadhog shot took a lot of, that was a meaty shot to take out of you.
Alright, go Sigma.
I don't know where you are.
I'm on the left.
I'm dead. Never mind, the Winston saved me.
Main top point.
Genji's gonna kill me now.
So what happened?
There you go, now you're using your shield. Yeah, you need to start using your shield more. The hook that got your ally, that's what you're meant to stop. Don't even bother hitting him when he's deflecting. I know, I don't know if it's common knowledge or not, but Genji deflects melee strikes. It doesn't hurt you, but he doesn't take any damage. Shield's almost up. That's perfect.
Genji's low behind.
When Winston bubbles goes down, because they don't have a... So this is one good thing about running Winston against the comp you're going up against. They don't have a counter Winston... Or not. Good thing about running a Reinhardt, sorry, against this comp is they don't have a shield user outside of Winston. So your Earth Shatter should be massive. I felt like that was a little blind.
I didn't know you were gonna do that.
Something's not working.
Yeah, definitely. You know, look both ways before you cross the street. Look both ways before you're before you use an ult. Can Genji deflect other Genji's ult? I believe so. Yes. I mean, and when I say deflect, when it comes to melee strikes, they don't dual damage to the other person. They just don't take damage.
Wait.
Genji just ulted.
Alright, dude, we have to go in. Ryan, go in.
And this Genji definitely uses his ults liberally.
No, already.
Oh man.
We're down.
Yeah, you're just hammering so much. It's just over hammer time. With Reinhardt, first of all, the biggest thing you can do to charge up your ult is charges. I have to lower this. 2 HD for us. If he lands a charge and it does full damage, I believe he gets 25% ult. I could be mistaken. I know it's quite high. I believe Fire Strike is 8% per hit. And these are the main things you do. I know his melee strike is 8% as well.
No, it was a Kame, then Genji. Right?
But yeah, use that for charging ult rather than swinging at every little fly that's in front of you. Okay, see how you stop that hook? That's what you want to do.
Yeah, they got front.
You took over 200 damage while trying to hit that deflected Genji again. You just already saved your ass there.
Yeah, the monkey.
Pull up that shield. Especially with Discord. Yeah, you're a bit too aggressive. How much? Sean, let me see what your shield charge rate. I wasn't looking. Yeah, you had 1,700 points.
You're going into a buff.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So worry more about the shielding part of Reinhardt. And you haven't used charge too many times.
We're low.
Guys are all up there. There's 5 people up there.
This would be definitely a good time to use charge.
Yeah, you guys are blocked off.
Watch Hog on the left.
You heard someone get hooked, so you gotta look around for that stuff.
He's in the point.
Put down your fucking hammer, man. You're nuts. And watch out for target prioritization on Lucio's. They're just gonna run away from you.
Careful on that right side.
And Snow, find out where your team's at. Yeah, and get right in front of those sons of a bitches. That's your job. Oh, throwing the fire blast is good. There you go.
He's gonna kill me.
I guess just build ult on him. You also have charge when Roadhog does that too. Remember. Oof.
Next fight. Can you get like on top of maybe?
So
I already am, yeah.
I don't mind you swinging for the fences when there's a couple heroes alive, but when there's multiple ones, fuck, be careful. Even if you get away with it, you're still overhammering.
They're all coming.
Oh no, there's some on main. There's some on main. There's 3.
I'm grabbing here.
Now this is something you charge into.
There's
Yeah.
one point.
That works.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, and someone ninja capped it. That's great.
Junkrat's in the cubby.
Yeah.
Roadhog's like 2 behind us.
And now with the Junkrat, you're going to have to keep your shield up pretty good.
Oh no.
Roadhog's right here, asleep.
Oh my god. There's a Junkrat.
There you go.
I didn't get healed. I could have killed the Junkrat.
So you can hear him in chat complaining about not getting healed. But you, I don't think you knew where your team was. I think you assumed they were behind you, but
They're crapping.
they're not being behind you.
Okay, no problem. Junkrat's in the cubby.
Yeah.
You can hear a Roadhog over there.
Roadhog's like 2 behind us. He's behind our point. He's in the...
I mean, find someone to put your shield in front of. Yeah, the Roadhog's still over there.
Roadhog's right here, asleep.
Oh my god. There's a Junkrat.
There you go.
I didn't
Yeah.
get healed. I could have killed the Junkrat.
Quick waste on me.
Yeah, the Earthshatter was good. I mean, he could have got 3 or 4 with it, but it was the fact that his team was dead by the time it happened. An ally got hooked, and I think Roadhog got another. Yeah, get your shield out. That soldier's still to your right, or it was a McCree.
Lucio's dead.
I got bubble G. He's still in here.
4 dead.
Hogno.
See, it's funny, you can shield well against a Junkrat, like you know what to do that, just because the damage is so obvious and it's so massive.
They have Baron now.
But that's how you should be shielding against most things.
He backed off.
Now find your team and sit in front of them.
My ultimate is charging.
Watch main. They're coming main. They're main. They're main.
No, just ask for the mana.
And careful about just jumping down, because I think your team is still up high.
Monkey's on point.
Okay, we're gonna get this one.
Lucio.
So remember, yes, there is the point right here, but your job as a tank is to defend it, and your guys were up here on the board, or up on the walkway. You need to shield them. Don't worry too much about the point. I know they backcapped you once or twice, and so maybe there's this lingering thought in your head that someone's going to steal the point really quick. But if you can secure these 3 guys to kill another 3 guys easily, then you can just take the point back. There's no worry about that. And if worse comes to worse, you can drop down. Just remember, as a non-mobile class, you can't jump up.
Ridiculous shots.
Score 1-2.
Okay, good.
The team likes to chase. Yeah, that's true. Hands. I think that's a low SR. I don't want to say it's a low SR thing, but like,
They're gonna probably do that.
it's definitely something that low SR people have, is that they'll try to chase people a little bit too much. Yeah, get all those.
I was gonna say Reaper. We need a hit scan. I guess.
The hit scan would be good. If you could just hit shots on like some of them, I'd just
And you can charge here.
like rockets. And...
Just because even if you do get to the front, your charge is going to be... It's going to be on enough cooldown where you can get it quickly. And you don't want to be charging straight into the enemy blindly. Okay, your barrier's down. You gotta start getting it back. Yep. Start clearing the path to the point. So that's just, I think that's a bit of a strategic decision. Now, you could have went this way. You did go this way, but from here to here, you're taking constant fire. And it's very direct. They were obviously on the point first. I don't think you guys have a Lucio. Okay, this changes everything. Just for the fact, they have a Lucio and you don't. They're going to get to the point first. They're going to try to get so quick to the point that they shove you in the choke point. And that's exactly what they did. You essentially have to bust out of the choke point immediately. And this is kind of up to your team. So you're going to have to defend them at first, but then you have to allow them to go the far route. Basically, you have to slowly walk up with your shield and allow them to get up here safely so they can use those small little pillars as cover. And this will get them in a better position to attack the point. The problem with this route is that as soon as you get here, they're all vulnerable to fire. And even if you do get here, if they're not directly behind you, they're still vulnerable to fire, and they can't do much on their own. Your shield is low health already, just because of the amount of damage this team's pumping out. Again, you need to be... Get your shield up. And I don't know if you guys watch hockey, but whenever there's a guy in goal and there's someone on a breakaway, the goalie comes out to challenge him to cut off the angle, right? Because if the guy's here, he actually can't really get to it, right? He can't get to the net. The same applies to Reinhardt. Right here, you choose to again go the safe route to try to to block the soldier's attack immediately, right? Or the direct approach. The truth is, if you're up here, that soldier's angle, one, you're a threat to the soldier. Like right here, you should have went this way. There's enough people dead, and you saw enough people over here, that if you came this way with a shield, this soldier's either going to look at you, or he's going to be threatened, like, to be fearful and run this way, and you're going to cut off his escape route, essentially ensuring his death. If he does go backwards, then you just walk forward, and you can block this entire map by being right in front of him. You have to cut off the soldier's angle. And see right here, like, he has an escape route.
I'm not gonna be able to get him. I almost have my ult. They're coming in the front.
Get in front of these guys. Get the goddamn shield up. Oh, don't... You can't put it down for anything. You have to sit there and you have to allow your team to do damage. See, it seems like you hold it when you're... It seems like when the threat is great enough, you will keep your shield up. But when you perceive the threat to be not great, you'll drop it very easily. So I mean, right here, you should get in front of everyone, just hold the shield down, and slowly back out. You take a lot of damage. You're still taking a lot of... Yeah, now you hold it up the entire time. When is a good time to drop shield? Not when you have 4 people shooting down like the choke point. Because you stop blocking for 1 second, especially with the Roadhog. At lower levels, you can get away with dropping the shield for a little bit, but at higher levels, as soon as the shield drops, I would actually put money on it that Roadhogs count to 8, because that's the cooldown of Fire Blast, and since a lot of people use Fire Blast on cooldown, as soon as 8 hits, they're going to throw a hook, you're going to drop it for a half a second, you're going to get hooked, and then you and your team dies.
But, yeah,
don't be so greedy that you always want to Fire Strike when it's up. But definitely protect your teammates. Like, this fight I don't mind, because actually D.Va can't block any of this shit. And that bitch needs to get put down. But that happens. I mean, you are a tank, but 500 hit points still goes down really quick.
I need help on point.
Roadhog's gonna be dead.
He's dead.
I'm on point.
Fair's half.
They have a finger.
They're dead. Mercy weak on the right.
Put up your shield. There you go. Now just walk forward. So you almost took 120 damage there. I don't know if that was... I'll just say that I don't think that was timed. Again, I mean, you're getting away with this, kind of. You're getting away with some really bad habits. That's what I'll say. In fact, this is what I... You're kind of playing against your skill level, right? You're like, oh, these guys won't hook me, these guys won't hit me when my shield's down for a second. But people just hold down the trigger at this skill level, and they will get through. It's dangerous because you're building up bad habits for the higher levels.
Unless they have trance and you don't have grenade for it.
Oh, okay.
Barrage just that doesn't have damage. Only if you need to out damage a trance and you're grenades down.
Because I saw the setup.
What up, Riptide? How's it going?
I can do this and assure that they die. And I do.
And again, they probably have a Lucio. You're going to get jammed into this choke. Especially since you didn't charge. They should already be there shooting. Yeah.
Can you dead? Push him, I got shield for you if you want to go. I got shield for you. I'm close.
Dead.
I'm weak.
No, front.
Mercy's half. Mercy's dead.
Ana's still in that little
Jesus. So, in a way,
There's an Ana behind us.
there are some times when you need to be like this, but it's dangerous as hell. I mean, you did take shots for your team. You did block shots with your body.
Got a Genji now.
And you did pressure the Rein and the Hog back. But it was quite risky.
Oh shit, there's a Genji up top.
They're on main. They're on main. There's like 4.
Genji dead.
So your team's protecting themselves.
I can't.
Okay, there you go. Now,
I got shield.
don't get baited into like a hammer fight. Oh, you're getting baited into a hammer fight.
Get him on point. The healers are not coming out.
Soldier's almost dead.
Yeah. That Reinhardt was using a shield. That's how you're supposed to use it.
That-
You need to use your shield more. You need to stay with your team more. These are important details.
I'm gonna die on point.
we have nanovisor.
He's playing like a Winston in a Rein's body. Yeah, that's actually a good analogy. That's a good way to put it. And it would explain why he wanted to go Winston in the first place, right? Maybe he's used to playing Winston.
Not main.
Did they have high ground?
The good news is he has one issue,
The main left side point.
right? This is actually really good. I didn't think he was going to get you there, but he did. That hitbox. I never understand Reinhardt charge.
Alright, no more else. We're good here.
Half the time you can hit someone dead on and they just get flung out of the way, and other times you can just clip someone and they get stuck.
I'm actually gonna watch this door.
Watch me.
There's a Pharah inside that door.
Main has a McCree.
So,
Rein.
you want to stick with your soldier. Your soldier, Reinhardt, Zen.
Wait, let's hold.
These are the guys you want to be blocking. These are all your long distance damage dealers. Again, you drop down.
Guys, get ready. Hold close. Get
You're very, very quick to... I guess this time it worked. But you're very, very quick to relinquish the high ground. As if you have no faith in your damage dealers.
Too much probably. We already had all of them in that graph.
That one worked, yeah, because there was a Zarya coming up. But it was still the same...
Reinhardt's asleep. Never mind.
not anymore. He's weak though. He's weak.
Roadhog, jump down.
Hook down. Let's get the point. Don't let the cap. Hog dead.
Use your shield.
Rein dead.
They killed me. They're using their ults to get back.
Around the corner.
Use rest.
Watch for Earth Shadow.
Shield him back out. Yep.
There's a Discord on the Rhine over there.
You can swing. I got you.
I think that was a good idea to use the ult there. You could have gotten more, but follow-up wasn't there. That was fine, though. I know your eyes got big. So did mine. I thought you were going to get like a 4 or 5 man Earth Shatter.
He definitely has it.
My
I don't remember
ultimate
Nano
is
yet.
charged.
Roadhog's coming to the right. He's probably trying to flank.
Alright, let's go. Let's go.
I don't know where he is.
Just walk. Just walk. Just walk.
Good shield.
Thank you.
Oh.
We were right there.
And you lose.
I thought you guys were.
So, not bad.
in there. That's why I was sitting there.
Don't want to watch that highlight. So, I mean, I grilled you a lot about the same thing, but that's cool because it's just one issue you got to do. Action. Put the hammer down. Put the hammer away, I should say. You may think hammer down is... Put the hammer away. and get in front of teammates. Or move with team, I should say. Your positions should be on the high ground. Well, it's wherever your team needs to be. It depends on team composition. But it needs to be in front of your teammates. So on that last map, I always forget the round name for whatever that one was called. When they're on the bridge, you need to stay on the bridge. You need to stay up there with them, even if you get bored. I think some Reinhardt's... Probably the hardest thing about Reinhardt is patience. Like, I don't think I could play Reinhardt because I have ADD, and I just like to do a lot of things at once. But that doesn't mean, like, Reinhardt doesn't ever do that. It means he does it, but he doesn't do it a lot of the time. You gotta worry about a lot of other things. It's like it's a very slow chess match. So stick with team. That's your main one. Don't give up high ground so easily. And so I'm trying to think of the round that's indoors. I forget what the name of that one is. I think it's Sanctum. Remember, you're dictating where your team goes, more or less. So if a team is running a Lucio and they're running to mid, you're going to have to help take the high ground, right? This is your job. There's that hole, there's the 3 pillars. Going this way is very dangerous unless you have a speed boost, but you guys didn't. You had a Lucio. So this is actually a very slow and long path. They had a lot of ranged damage dealers, if I remember correctly. They had, I think it was like Ferris Soldier. So yeah, at least help your team push up this way. Because, I mean, they already had the point. It's best, and even if in the least amount of space, is go here, and then shield here so that your team can get up this way. Right? Bridge this logistics phase, this phase of movement of your team, and allow them to get up here. Because most DPS classes have some way to, they have, like, some way out of situations. Soldier has sprint, Pharah's, you know, she flies. McCree has combat roll and flashbang if he ever gets into a lot of trouble close in, and he can go from pillar to pillar and get in and out. And there's a health pack over here. Most of the DPS classes can survive on their own for a little bit of time, not for very long though, but long enough for them to get to the pillars and try to take this part of the map. But it's your job to enable this entire concept by blocking here and making the way safe for them. If the entire enemy team was here, then yeah, you'd have to go up here with them and block all the way in. But if they're holding the other side of the map, yeah, allow at least a couple members to get here and then push in. Because if you allow a couple members to get here, their attention is going to be split. And if you just go in directly, you have 6 people shooting your shield. And that's why your shield is getting lost so quick. You were just the only target on the map at the time, and you had the shield up. Very difficult to keep it up in that type of scenario. Your logistics, you don't use charge at the start. Charge at start. I don't think you used it once. You used it on respawns, but you wouldn't do it out of the gate. But also, again, everything I kind of talked about position-wise is also logistics-wise. Think about where your team needs to be, and then defend the way for them to get there. If your team needs to be here, they're going this way, then you need to block this way. And remember that, again, like the hockey analogy, if you're separated from your team, remember that... Control? If someone's shooting here, you can get closer and cut off the angle. Right? The closer you are, the harder angle they're going to have. So back here, you can only guard so much. But this same one in front of their face, like the same size square right in front of them, and now the guy can hit little to nothing. Right? He can't hit this entire point once you're blocking right in front of him. This situation's rare because you're naturally separated from your team to do this, but it does happen. You know, you can't always be with your team. I know that's the ideal situation, but shit's going to hit the fan. Plans will not go as plans should, and you need to understand that sometimes going right up to the guy, maybe not attacking him, but just aggressively putting a shield in his face will save your team from a lot of damage. And if you take out 2 people back here for 5 seconds, and then you lose your shield, and then you start hammering, well, that's 5 extra seconds your team has to deal with anyone in this area and kill them. Information-wise, it was, more than anything, is your ally position. Know where your team is at most times. I didn't see you look around much. I think there was a lot of assumption that your team was just following you, or you, frankly, you just didn't care, which is okay. That's cool. Like, sometimes you just want to beat people with a hammer, and, like, I understand that. Yeah, but knowing where your team is and what your team, I guess your team's method. Also, you had 6 people, so you should have at least be able to talk to them a little bit. Team theory, I guess. Know your team's habits, know your team's whatevers. If you play with the same people over and over and over, you'll understand their habits a lot better than other people. If you play with random people, like in a competition mode or, you know, competitive ladder, just get the general feel of how things are happening. I think actually your alt usage is pretty much good. I think all of your alt usages had good ideas, outside of the one where you just spun 180 and hammered down on up the staircase. I forget the name. That was the one with the giant bells above the gateways, like the midpoint, with the pillar in the middle. Yeah. Outside of that one, yeah, just put thought into your action. That actually, putting thought into all your actions is like the only thing you need to do to get better at everything. If you do everything for a reason and then realize that reason's stupid, or you need to fix that reason, or maybe it wasn't that particular reason at the time, then you can fix that. As soon as you start doing things all willy-nilly is when you can't correct it. Don't do things randomly and then try to find a reason for it afterwards. Do things for a reason and then implement that reason. If it doesn't work, then look at it retroactively and fix your reasoning. At Chro, since Rein is on the front line, isn't it better for the team to follow him rather than him follow his team? That's true. It is true. But you have to play in the environment you're in. So I can relate this to Junkrat, where if there's a Pharah in the game, it's not my ideal job to take care of her. Or a soldier on the high ground. Like, I don't want to fight that shit. I don't. Leaping up against the soldier is usually death. Same thing with Pharah. They're not high success operations. You don't want to be doing that. But if your team just doesn't deal with them, then you just have to take it upon yourself to do what is needed. With Reinhardt, yes, your team should be following you. But if your team is not, then you have to play in that environment. You have to adapt. It's just something you have to do. There's no right or wrong. There's just, are you losing or are you winning? That's all there is to it. So I believe you should, you know, your team should definitely be behind you. You should be leading the way. Then again, like, if your Reinhardt jumps off a bridge, you know, do you jump off a bridge? No. Like, you're like, fuck, what the fuck do you do? Like, you just look at the Reinhardt all weird. You're like, alright, he's just gonna do his own thing. Yeah, you just have to work within the environment you're in. So, yeah, it's give and take. Team should be with Reinhardt. If the Reinhardt's not there, then the Rein... You know, you get it. You get it. But if there's no other questions, I will move on to the next one. Ideally, yes. Whoever said that. Your team should be following you. I know as Junkrat, you don't mind solo ulting someone, but if you're playing Reinhardt or Winston, should you wait till you see a large amount of enemies or go for 2 people? With Reinhardt is actually an interesting deal. So Reinhardt and Zarya are like the 2 big group AoE skills in Overwatch. What I see them used a lot for is definitely for stalling half the team. If someone attacks, if they attack with 3 people, like a dive comp, Reinhardt can stun the other 3 and kill those guys. Then, but what else I see Reinhardt significant amount of time used for is to stop Genji ults. Very, very commonly, because Nano Blade is so common in competitive play, they'll save the Reinhardt ult for when Genji gets Nano Bladed. And then you stun that. Essentially, how I see ults is a numbers game. If Genji's ultimate gives them, like, +1 numbers, so if it's a 1v2, well then, actually, Genji would probably give you 2. It's actually like a 3v2, right, with Genji's ult. Well, then with the Nano Blade, like, holy shit, it may be a 4v2. And maybe it's like a 5v2 then with that. Right? So if you can stun a Nano Blade, well then you kind of kill 4 people. Just because how I see ultimates is just about numbers. It's all about bolstering your numbers at the end of it. But yeah, definitely it's better to use it on multiple people. Definitely use it when people engage and you stop the attack. So like this, when people are attacking, like let 2 go through, but then stun the other 4. That's very effective. Because then the 2 die to your team, and then even if you don't follow up on the other 4, well, you have a shield in front of them to block their damage, and then all 6 of your teammates can attack the 4 and you'll win. So would Nanobane best saved as a last-ditch effort? No, I've actually seen it as the cure to Nanoblade. Is they will save the Reinhardt ult for that specific action. Zarya does not work well with Nanoblade because then Genji can dash out of it, but for when teams engage and you let a couple go through, think of it like Mei Wall. You let a couple go through and then you Zarya ult here, and then you kill the 4 people here, and then the 2 people are just kind of like left alone to do their own shit. You kill the 4, you may lose 2 in the process, but then it's still a 4v2. To me, it's all a numbers game.
Timing's overrated.
And of course, we're all human, so when we see 5 people lined up, we want to ult. I understand that. Trust me, as Junkrat, sometimes like I know I should kill 1 or 2 people, and then I see like 5 together. I was like, oh, gotta go for the 5, and you lose your tire, and you're like, well, that was worthless. Yeah, and that's it. So, any other questions? And Electrox, please submit your YouTube videos on Discord to be reviewed. Alright, you know what? Fuck it. Any other questions? Nothing? Okay. Do I love you, Potato? Nope.